Hey there, welcome back. In this lesson, we are gonna talk about why setState is not good approach for large-scale applications. As I said, setState is simple and it is useful for small applications. But be honest, real applications in Play Store or App Store are not simple or small applications. In this lesson, we are gonna build a real example to see why setState is not enough for large-scale applications. So let's jump right in. Alright friends, we are gonna implement a login screen and we will simulate API calling. So as you can guess, we are gonna handle state of result. We can have three states: loading, error, and success. And we are gonna manage these three states using setState. For example, for loading, we are gonna display loading animation. For error, we can display error message. And for success, we can display welcome message or whatever you want. First of all, we are going to implement UI and then logic. So let's go ahead and remove example right here. And let's create new stateful widget. And let's call it login. Okay, now I'm just going to move to the top and define login as home of our application. Just like this. Perfect. I'm pretty sure you know that why we used stateful widget instead of stateless widget. Because in order to use setState, we have to create stateful widget and we can't change our state in stateless widget and we don't have access to the setState in stateless widget. I explained this in the previous lesson. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and implement our UI. We are gonna have email and the password fields and the login button. So first of all, I'm gonna return the scaffold and I wanna have app bar, and for title we are gonna display login. And in body, first of all, I wanna have some spaces, so I'm gonna use padding. And let's set 16. Just like this. In child, we are gonna have column. We can use Copilot suggested code. So just enter tab and there we go. We just need to change username to email. Save. Okay, awesome. We are done with entire of UI. Now we can go ahead and implement our logic. We are gonna implement a function and call that function when click on login button. So here I'm gonna create feature method. Why feature? Because we are gonna have some async operation, so we have to use feature method. Let's call it login and we have to use async keyword. As I said, we are gonna have three states: loading, error, and success. And we are gonna display loading animation when click on login button. So at first we have to manage state of loading, but how we can do this? This is very simple. We can define a boolean and make decision based on value of that boolean. So here I'm gonna define boolean and let's call it is loading and its default value should be false. So when value of is loading is false, we don't need to display loading animation. And when its value is true, we have to display loading animation. As I said, we are gonna display loading animation when click on login button. So we have to change value of is loading to true. So here I'm gonna use setState and change value of is loading to true. Just like this. We also need to manage error. At first, we don't have any error, so we have to waiting for API response. If we have an error, we can display that error. So how we can handle this one? This is super easy. What is type of our error? Message. Or it is better to say, what is type of our state? That's right, it is string. So here I'm gonna define string and I wanna make it nullable. Why? Because it is not known either we will have an error or not. Maybe we will or not. And let's call it error, just like this. And as I said, at first we don't have any error, so we have to set null for error, just like this. Let's go ahead and simulate API calling. And in order to make it perfect, I wanna use try catch. I wanna also use finally. When our operation is finished, we need to hide loading animation. We can do this inside finally. So again, I'm gonna use setState and the change value of is loading to false. And if you have any problem in process of our operation, we can handle it inside catch, and we are gonna display error message. So inside catch, we have to use setState again and change value of error from null to specific message. I wanna display this message. You can display whatever you want, no matter. Okay, perfect. Let's move on and simulate network call inside try. I wanna simulate waiting and delay in getting a response. To do this, I'm gonna use feature.delayed and set 2 seconds for duration, just like this. Now let's imagine we got response and we have to check that if response is success or failure. I'm gonna do this with value of email and password, and if those values are equal to specific value, we can say that our response is success or failure. So we need to access to email and password. To do this, we only need to use controller. So here I'm gonna define controller for email and password. Okay, great. Thanks to Copilot. And here I'm gonna check if value of email is equal to something like this, and value of password is equal to this value, we can say the login operation is successful and we can do whatever we want. For example, we can display message or change our state. And else, if operation is failure, we can display error message, and we have to use setState again and change value of error from null to whatever we want. And I'm gonna set this message. And I wanna display welcome message instead of login forms on screen when our operation is successful. To do this, we only need to use boolean exactly log is loading and makes decision based on its value. So here I'm gonna define boolean and let's call it is logged in and set false for initial value. Okay, and here I'm gonna change its value using setState. Okay, great job so far. Now let's go ahead and implement these new logics in our UI. First of all, in order to be able to use this line of code, we have to set our controllers in text fields. So here I'm gonna set controller for email and for password. Okay, next we are gonna display loading animation, and I wanna display loading inside button. So instead of text, we are gonna display loading animation when click on login button. So here I'm gonna use is loading, and if its value is true, we can display this animation, and otherwise we are gonna display login text. Save. Okay, and also in onPressed, we are gonna set login function. Great. Now let's click on login. There we have it. As you can see, we have loading animation in central login button. And I want to display error message right here. So I'm gonna check if there is any error, we can display it like this. And finally, I'm just gonna move to the top and change layout. If is logged in is true and our operation is successfully. So here I'm going to return if is logged in is true. Let's return new scaffold and new app bar and welcome message in body. Now save and restart application. First of all, let's click on login. There we have it. As you can see, we have error message right here. And let's enter this email and this password. There we have it. As you can see, we are in home and this is our welcome message. It means that our operation was successfully. So we have finished with entire of UI. Now we can move on and explore why setState is not a good approach for large scale applications. Here we have a simple login screen. It handles loading state, error state and success state. Everything is built using setState. At first this looks fine. The code works, the UI updates, the logic is clear for now. But let's look deeper. Look at this function. I'm calling setState again and again and again. Before the request, after success, on error, and in finally. State changes are scattered everywhere. There is no single place to understand what is happening. This function is doing everything. Validation, business logic, async work, and the UI updates. Everything is mixed together inside the widget. If I ask you when does loading start, when does it stop, what happens on success, you need to explore the entire function to understand the flow. Alright friends, now I wanna try something different. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna extract these widgets right here as a separate widget. So let's click on button right here, light button right here and select extract widget. It's gonna ask us for a name, so let's say email field, enter and let's do this for password as well. And for the button, we have to do it manually. So here I'm gonna create a new class and let's call it login button. To save time, we can use the Copilot code. So just enter tab and there we have it. This class is gonna take two parameters, is loading and onPressed. So we have to pass the value of is loading and login function. So here instead of use this button right here, I'm gonna use login button and pass is loading and login function, just like this. Restart application. Okay, great. Now let's see a big problem. I'm gonna add some print statements to track rebuilds. As I said, setState doesn't update the UI directly. It rebuilds the widget using the new values. So here I'm gonna add this print right here. I'm gonna do this for password and email and button as well. Okay, let's enter email, password, and click on login button. Let's open up console. Alright friends, look at this. I only changed is loading, but the entire screen was rebuilt. We can see print statements for email field, password field, and login button. Even widgets that didn't change are rebuilding again. This happens because setState doesn't know what exactly changed. It only knows that something changed. So Flutter rebuilds the entire widget tree under this widget. Even a small change can cause many unnecessary rebuilds. In this small example, it is not a big problem. But in real applications, we have a complex UI, large widget trees, images, lists, animations, and etc. Rebuilding everything again and again becomes expensive. More rebuilds means more CPU usage, more memory usage, and possibly dropped frames. This can lead to a slow UI, lag, and a poor user experience. So we have multiple problems. State changes are scattered, logic is mixed with UI, code is hard to maintain, and we have unnecessary rebuilds. The real problem is not just setState. The real problem is that we don't have control over how state changes and what should rebuild. We need a better way, a way to organize state, separate logic from UI, and control rebuilds. And this is where state management solutions come in. And one of the most powerful approaches is block.